Hello friends, welcome to a session on MCQ discussion in esophagus. So, false about Zenker's diverticulum is. So we will see the options. Zenker's diverticulum is most common in the age group more than 50 years. No, it is not common in old age. Zenker's diverticulum is most common in old age, that is more than 50 years, because of weakened muscle wall. This is most common in age group more than 50 years. It is the most common type of esophageal diverticulum. True, Zenker's diverticulum is the most common type of esophageal diverticulum. It occurs in Killian's dehiscence. Killian's dehiscence is the space between it is the muscular defect between the thyroesophagus and thyropharyngeus and cricopharyngeus muscles. So it occurs in the Killian's dehiscence. This is true. It is associated with cervical webs. False. Cervical webs are not associated with Zenker's diverticulum. Cervical webs are mainly associated with Plummer-Vinson syndrome. Okay, the next, if you see the next question, true about esophageal cancer is. Esophageal cancer, true. So you should see the options. It is more lethal than colorectal cancer. Never. Colorectal cancers are almost 10 times more lethal when compared to esophageal cancers. Because in esophageal cancers, only 1/4 of the patients of esophageal cancers die. Most of the patients with esophageal cancers will survive and they will overcome this cancer. Esophageal cancer has increasing trends towards the squamous cell cancer. Yes, it is increasing trends towards false. This esophageal cancer has increasing trends towards adenocarcinoma, not squamous cell carcinoma, because as we are eating lots of fat foods, spicy foods, because of the food transition, the low fiber diet, so all these will increase the Barrett's esophagus, which will predispose to adenocarcinoma. So in most of the Western nations, the most common cancer of esophagus in Western nations is adenocarcinoma. Small lesions have better prognosis. No, actually the prognosis mainly depends upon the lymph node status, but not on the size of the tumor. The prognostic factor for esophageal cancer is mainly the lymph node, but not the size of the cancer. Then, asymptomatic patients, benign lesions excised immediately. In asymptomatic benign lesions, we do not excise them commonly. We will ask them to follow up. Okay, next question. A patient complains of intermittent dysphagia, which is equal for both solids and liquids. What is the most common cause? Intermittent. Remember, this is intermittent dysphagia equal for solids and liquids. We will see the options. Achalasia cardia. Achalasia cardia is slow progressive dysphagia which is present more for liquids than for solids. So this is not true. Then esophageal stricture is not intermittent. It will be present always. It is non-progressive. Esophageal stricture, dysphagia due to esophageal stricture is non-progressive and it is more for solids when compared to liquids. Then in carcinoma, it is rapid progressive dysphagia is seen in carcinoma. It is never intermittent. Intermittent dysphagia is most commonly seen in diffuse esophageal spasm. What are the differential diagnoses of intermittent dysphagia? Intermittent dysphagia is seen in Zenker's diverticulum, Skadsky's ring, and esophagitis. Intermittent dysphagia is seen in Zenker's diverticulum, Skarsky's ring, and esophagitis. Then the next question. Early and late suspected instrumental esophageal perforation is assessed first by. If there is any esophageal perforation, instrumental esophageal perforation, then the first investigation which you do, it is best assessed or first assessed by CT scan. So this is leaked oral. This CT scan will show the air or leaked oral contrast or any fluid collection very well. So CT scan is main investigation which you do for early and late suspected instrumental esophageal perforation. Then the next question is, old men presents with gradually increasing dysphagia, more for solids, hoarseness of voice, and palpable cervical node. Diagnosis is C. He has increasing dysphagia, that is progressive dysphagia, which is more for solids. Okay, hoarseness of voice, which tells us about the involvement of recurrent laryngeal nerve, palpable cervical lymph node, which reflects the lymph nodal involvement. Obviously, it is malignancy in the esophagus because the dysphagia points towards esophagus. So it is esophageal carcinoma with dysphagia and recurrent laryngeal nerve palsy and also cervical lymphadenopathy. So this is cancer. Then the next question is, most common foreign body in children in esophagus is, in children, most common foreign body is coin. So coin is most common foreign body in children, whereas food is the most common foreign body in adults. And most common site of foreign body impaction is cricopharynx. All of the following are true about achalasia except, so we will see the options. Lower esophageal sphincter does not relax. True, in achalasia cardia there is no relaxation of lower esophageal sphincter. Achalasia cardia is more common in males. No, it is more common in females rather than in males. Then there is absence of gastric bubble seen in X-ray. True, in X-ray achalasia you will see absence of gastric bubble. Investigation of choice for achalasia cardia is manometry. True. So here the false statement is it is common in males because in reality it is more common in females. Next question. Which of the following is not true about medical management of uncomplicated gastroesophageal reflux disease? So we will see. Most effective treatment is PPI. Yes, medical management most effective treatment is proton pump inhibitors. Advise head tilt to up to 15 degrees helps in management. True. If you do a head tilt up to 15 degrees, then there is, because of gravity, the fluid cannot travel against the gravity. So as a result, the GERD can be controlled by putting a head tilt up to 15 degrees. Long-term PPI risk increases malignancy. No. If you use long-term proton pump inhibitor, it does not increase malignancy. Adequate dose of proton pump inhibitors for 8 weeks is the recommended treatment. Yes, adequate treatment of PPI for 8 weeks is the recommended treatment for GERD. Okay, this is about the main MCQs. Thank you for watching my lecture. Thank you.